What is happening, Internet? K-Wing here, and how's everybody doing today? There's a crazy Batgirl rumor that has released as of about, I'd say 25 hours ago. It's about 2 a.m. at the recording of this video. So, is it true or not? Well, more right after this. Alright, let's dive into this without beating around the bush, shall we? Now, the following could be a potential spoiler. Might be true, might not, don't really know. The source has to do with stuff on Reddit and Twitter, and the posts have since been removed, taken down, so I don't know if there was any truth to it, or people were just trolling. The reason why I found some, not all, of this rumor interesting is it coincides with things we've heard about Michael Keaton's Batman going back months and months and months. I know some people are saying, oh, the scene where Michael Keaton is hanging out at the supposedly end of the movie completely debunks that something happens to Michael Keaton. You do realize that they shoot films out of order, right? They aren't necessarily filming the ending sequence when you think they are. What could appear to be the ending sequence could be the beginning of a movie. That's the magic of editing. Anything can happen. Just because you see Keaton walking around in one thing, you don't really know what happens to him in the climax of the film. Nobody does. Supposedly, one of these leakers, may or may not know. But yeah, the Batgirl stuff just sounds really, really weird. I'm not going to lie. You want to know what it sounds like? The Batgirl stuff sounds like that terrible Batman, like Batwoman Beyond thing that was originally proposed by the Batgirl writer, who coincidentally wrote The Flash and wrote Birds of Prey, or rather the Harley Quinn movie. So yeah, it had some of those ideas, some of those ways of describing the characterization of Batwoman instead of Barbara Gordon. Basically being like a Terry McGinnis character, very naggy, forcing Batman to let them take over as the new Batman, except they be Batwoman. So like really bad CW writing. The fact that Keaton would train this person and Black Canary and Batman be kind of like, well, I don't really know if this is going to work out or not. Batgirl would get seriously injured because of her makeshift batsuit and kind of disobeying Batman's orders to engage. And then, of course, she would prove her own merit, and she would take down Firefly. It's interesting that they mentioned Firefly. As far as I know, they haven't officially announced that Brendan Fraser is playing Firefly, but they say Firefly here, so take that with what you want. And, on her own merit, she takes down Firefly, proves herself, and Batman basically, I wouldn't say gives her his blessing to take over for him, but he gives her a Batgirl suit that is worthy of the job. And then the movie just kind of ends. That's the plot leak, supposedly. Really not a lot of information, again. But the stuff that I found interesting was how it relates to the Flash leaks, talking about how Michael Keaton is forever changed and can't be the Dark Knight going forward, and why the DCEU has him be the Nick Fury character as Bruce Wayne. Now, it could be false, but again, it does match up with other rumors with Michael Keaton. Just this. The other stuff, oh yeah, the other stuff is totally debunked. That is classic Batwoman Beyond that was supposedly scuttled in favor of the Batgirl movie that's currently filming in Scotland. But the Keaton stuff, unfortunately, that's the only thing that they're on the mark about. Everything else, no. Everything else I would just completely disregard and be like, nah. But that Keaton stuff, that's definitely pretty interesting. Now, why would Keaton being paralyzed be a big deal? Well, we know for a fact that they're building up a female Trinity, and they are trying to kind of echo what the Twitter culture wants, not the general audience. General audience would not be cool with a female Trinity unless, Wonder Woman was in charge and Batman and Superman were on the team as well. What people don't understand is these legacy characters haven't been built up yet in order for them to replace their male counterparts. Or actually, I wouldn't even say male counterparts. They're sidekicks. They're not in the same league as Batman or Superman. They're not as popular. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem that people have with that. Is like, wait a second. No. We don't... General audiences don't want this. Twitter is not general audiences. They're a small group of crazy people that apparently DC Comics has been listening to with very, very bad results. It's part of the reason that they're in trouble with Discovery as they continue to go over the books, which we'll talk about the Discovery stuff in a later video that I've been working on for quite a while. because you guys wanted to know what is the mindset of Discovery. Well, spoilers, they're a by-the-books company, by the numbers. They don't think with their heart, they think with their wallet. And when you bleed money from them, they aren't really happy with you and you get fired, regardless of if you think that you were invincible because of your checking off boxes, so to speak. So, no, Discovery doesn't do that, which is good. But it's also going to get them in trouble on Twitter, most likely. You think people have it out for Walter Hamada. Wait until David gets a hold of, Warner Brothers and make some changes. People are going to turn on him real fast. But yeah, that Keaton stuff. If you're going by what the current Twitter culture is, by sidelining him and having him get paralyzed in the final battle against most likely Barry Allen, or a evil version of Barry Allen, as reports go, then it would be very easy to have Michael Keaton in various projects, appearing as Bruce Wayne and as that Nick Fury character, being the guy in the chair, whereas in the Batman Beyond thing, you would have Batgirl being like the field agent. Kind of think like the Arkham games and some of the Batman comics where Oracle is constantly talking to Batman. It would just be reversed. Batman would be communicating with Barbara when she's out in the field. He's calling the shots from the chair, but she's out there doing the work, which maybe people would be on board with, but I don't know. So that's why I thought that was interesting, to be honest. It was kind of like, okay, so this does match up with reports we've had about Michael Keaton's role going forward. And as you know, Michael Keaton supposedly is attached to multiple projects after Batgirl. Nightwing, Gotham City Sirens, League of Assassins, and a new Justice League movie. So that's 5 films right there. And DC could basically keep using him for the next 10 years in that Bruce Wayne role of visiting all these different characters and putting together a new Justice League, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. It's all completely up in the air. That's the fun thing with rumors, is you don't know what's true, you don't know what's false. In order to fit the narrative of today's culture, by sidelining Batman and building up Batgirl, that's pretty much what 2022 is all about in 2021. You have to jump off the shoulders of a guy in order to prove yourself, rather than proving yourself just being a female hero on your own accord. No. You have to belittle the man in order to make yourself be better. That's DC Comics, that's Marvel, that's what they do. If they were a good writer, then I would say that the Batgirl film would be like a Batgirl Year One thing, which I think some aspects of it are going to be Batgirl Year One, which is good. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm in no means, shape, or form saying that it's going to be a bad thing. I am saying that to take these leaks with a grain of salt. They could be all false, like the Batgirl stuff, which literally is talk of the Batwoman Beyond stuff that caused people to freak out when that was leaked almost 2 years ago. And supposedly we killed that. So if there's any aspect of that still alive in the film, that would be terrifying. I don't know if the writer would do that, but, it is what it is. They don't really have checks and balances involved at Warner Brothers currently. That's going to be Discovery's job come April. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, now I want to hear from you guys and gals. How do you feel about this? You on board with these leaks, or you think they're totally bogus? Is there anything from these leaks that you believe is true, such as what happens to Keaton in The Flash and the reason why he has a lesser role going forward and Batman's not a big part of the Justice League? Or you think he just retires due to old age? Let me know in the comment section below. I will have that Discovery video for you guys later this week, discussing how Discovery runs their companies, why David turned Discovery into a Fortune 500 company, and how he views the DC Comics properties of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and understands them, which is something that DC Comics and Warner Brothers apparently do not. We'll find out what happens. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. This, of course, the O1 channel, your source for all things Batman in rumors, films, TV, video games, animation, and occasionally comics. Till we meet again, Gothamites. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.